Michelle here, Thrifting 101. Welcome back to my channel, and if you're new, welcome to my channel. Glad you're stopping in. I have a thrift haul for you today, so let's get started. Have been at the Salvation Army for a while. They're Pyrex opalware in butterfly gold pattern, and to be truthfully honest, they were a little too expensive for me to pick up to resell, so I left them there. And I was in the other day, they were still there, so I took another look at them and I noticed they're the butterfly wheat pattern, which was a butterfly wheat design, so I did grab them. I paid about $26 for the set, which is a lot. And the reason I picked them up is because I figured maybe somebody would be looking for them. I don't need to make a whole lot of money on them. Making money's nice, but that's not the real reason I picked them up. You just don't see them very often. I have the large one here is a 403. I've got the yellow one here is a 402, and the small one is a 401. It is missing the large 404. You can see what great condition they're all in. This one here, the yellow one, has a tiny little smoothed over chip, or maybe even just a manufacturer's ding. It's so hard to really tell, but otherwise they're just in lovely condition. And again, they're hard to find. They made the original butterfly gold in 1972 to 1978, and this redo, the butterfly gold wheat, 1979 to 1981. And here, for those of you who don't know the difference, I have one of my regular butterfly golds right here. I'm sorry, I'll put that down. Sorry, cameraman. And you can see the pattern difference here. So that being said, I'm going to ask, I think about $50 for the set of 3. And I don't see a set of 3 out there. I do see little individual pieces here and there. But we'll ask $50 and we'll see what happens. Another one of my wall pocket finds. I found this one at the Goodwill. I paid $3.99 for it. It's in really nice condition. Excuse me. As you can see, it's got blue luster here and the yellow luster wear right here. And this is a matte finish, really pretty design, great condition in the moirage kind of design. Usually you see moirage with the dragon wear, but I'm pretty sure this is moirage too. And moirage is simply a clay that's used to create a 3D effect, which you can see right there. And they do that by applying a diluted clay to the piece. I think it almost looks like a castle in the sky design. Wonderful condition, 8 inches from top to bottom. And I'm going to show you the back stamp again. That back stamp stands for, excuse me, Hoda U Schouten and Company. And Hoda U must be the company, because actually Schouten only means that the shop which sells the wares from which they were fired. So that's what Schouten means. So you might see Schouten on a lot of pieces. This company dates from 1920 to 1947. And this beautiful piece right here, probably the 1930s. It's in great shape. I'm going to ask, I think, about $30 for it. When I was in Goodwill last week and I found those amazing Fenton vases for $2.99 each, I also found this Hall Superior Quality 9-inch bowl. It's called a straight edge bowl, and it's called Rose Parade. You can see that right there. It was marked $8.99, so I kind of thought that was high. I put it back, but after I found the 2 vases, I figured, okay, I'm going to pick this piece up because it's simply gorgeous, even though it was kind of expensive. And this is, like I said, a 9-inch straight side bowl. It is in amazing condition for being almost 80 years old. 1945 to be exact is when this bowl came out. It's part of a 3-bowl set, this being the largest of the 3 bowls. Has some pretty, there's your Rose Parades right in there. And the blue color is just shiny, and it's just all in great shape. Hall Company was founded in East Liverpool, Ohio in 1903 by Robert Hall, excuse me. And in 1920, they started a joint association with the Jewel Tea Company, and they started producing dinnerware and kitchen items for Jewel way until about 1980. And back in the 1930s, when refrigerators were becoming more and more common, and people, you know, they were in more and more homes. Hall created the refrigerator ware line for major manufacturers such as Hot Point, GE, Westinghouse, and others. And that's how this line came about. Like I said, perfect condition. I'm going to ask, I think $50 free ship for it. It's super heavy, but I haven't seen one online in quite this good condition. And I did want to let you know that Hall China is still alive and well today, but they are now owned by the Homer Laughlin Company. Picked up this pretty little Lefton bonbon bowl. It's hand painted. You can see it says that right there. At that community thrift store I was telling you about that's only open, I think, from Thursdays to Saturdays. I've been stopping in there more often. I paid $1 for it, and you can see just how pretty it is. I think it probably goes this way. The pattern is called Heritage Rose Brown, and they made a bunch of different Heritage Rose. This one happens to have the brown background, so that's where that got its name. 1940s to 1960s. Like I said, it's a bonbon dish. Bonbon candies were just little confections or chocolates rolled in bun shapes. I think that's what bonbon stands for. And bon means good in French, and all candies are good. And a little who needs to know kind of information, a fun fact, if you will, is that bonbons inspired Johann Strauss II to compose a waltz named the Wiener Bonbons. So I'm sure everybody needed to know that. Anyway, it's a 7 1/4 inch hand-painted bowl, beautiful condition. I'll be asking $15 for it. I saw this at the Goodwill. It was marked $4.99. Things are starting to creep up, the prices there over at Goodwill, but I loved the look of it. I love the color of it. I kind of call it a seafoam green actually, and it's got a very retro look to me. It's made by Bee House out of Japan. They changed the name in 2006 to Zero Japan Incorporated. They still make these same designs. They make different sizes. Let me take the lid off and show you right here. It's got the infuser. It's all in great condition. Like I said, just loved the color. They got the name Beehive from, it actually was inspired by the concept of a group of people working closely together, like bees. And $4.99 I paid for it. Really great condition, great color. I'm gonna ask, $18 for it. This up at the community thrift store, paid $1 for it. I don't know if you can see it. It's kind of hard to see the embossed logo on there, but it does have the flying F, which stands for Franciscan, and it also says Made in England. This is the Ivy 2 creamer that was made in England. It was originally made, Franciscan made it in America, in California, from 1948 to 1983. The English pieces were made between 2000 and 2003, and the English pieces have this more detailed vine-shaped handle here. Really good condition. I paid $1 for it. I'm gonna ask $15 for it. It's a 4 1/4 inch ceramic pitcher, and Gladden McBean, who owned Franciscan, started the Franciscan pottery line way back in 1934. The new community thrift store I've been going to, Church Thrift Store, I found that they sell lots of Pyrex lids, so I did find a source. 50 cents for the large, and I think they were only 25 cents for the small. This one obviously is a larger one. So I came home and I put a few of my casseroles together, and I did find this casserole that I don't use. I'm trying to thin out a little bit, so this is what I'm calling a thin out piece. It's a Corral Corning, excuse me, in the country cornflower pattern, dates 1988 to 1993. It's an 8 1/2 inch high, 3-quart covered casserole, and the lid, if anybody cares, is A9C. I'm not quite sure if this is the exact lid that goes with this casserole, but it is a Pyrex lid, and it does fit. It's in great condition, and I think I'm going to be asking $20 for the casserole with the lid. Goodwill find on Senior Citizen Day, which is Monday. I paid about $5.50 for the set. These are Tiara Sandwich Amber Collection. There are obviously candlestick holders or candle tapers. They're the 3 3/4 inch tall ones. They did make a larger one also. Tiara was produced by the Indiana Glass Company as a home party plan line. I bet a lot of you people either went to Tiara parties or had them yourself. I know a lot of you have actually. And Tiara was marketed by Indiana from 1970 to 1988. These date between 1971 and 88. And I'm gonna ask, I think, $15 for the pair. This is a 16-ounce pitcher made by Anchor Hocking in the purple clear pattern. I picked it up for $1 at the community thrift store. I did pretty well there this week. And the funny thing is, after that, I went to the Goodwill. I saw the exact same one, and I never ever see these anywhere, but I saw the exact same one and they were asking $6 for it, which I would have definitely never paid $6 for it. And that's because I'm only going to be asking $8 for this one right here. They did come in a bunch of different colors, the clear, they came in green and red, and if you ever find the red purple, pick it up. It's the hardest color to find. They produced these 1940s to 1970s. I think this is an older picture, and I would date it closer to the 1940s. I think I found this at the Salvation Army. I do know I paid 75 cents for it. It was the only one sitting there, but I was drawn right to it. I knew, show you again right here. It's not marked, or I don't think we showed you at all, but I knew right away it was Hazel Atlas Drizzle because I'm familiar with the pattern, and I love Hazel Atlas Drizzle. It dates back to the 1960s. It is a tall iced tea cup or glass tumbler. You might think it's rubberized because it kind of looks a little bit like the 1950s, 60s rubberized Colored Craft and other company string design, but this is actually more of a paint design right here. It's not the shatterproof glasses. They sell for about $10 a glass in this condition. I saw this sitting at the community church thrift store. It was marked $1. Really pretty pink iridescent perfume bottle. Checked out the stopper. It's in really nice shape, and it was hand blown, so I kind of like the fact that it was handmade. It's reminiscent. It's a reproduction of the vintage 1920s and 1930s perfume bottles made by Silvestri out of Taiwan, probably in the 1980s, maybe the early 1990s. And I'm going to ask, I think, $15 for it. It's got a really pretty pink iridescent. I hope it's showing up. This was a great find at the Goodwill. I only paid $1.99 for it. The box is in great condition. You see it says 2-piece crystal tumbler plate set made in the USA. And that's the number, the production number 238, or the style number. So I opened it up, and the first thing I saw, and I blocked off the credit card number, was the original receipt for the purchase of this. And the credit card date ended in 1999, so I'm sure it had to be a few years at least before that. And it's Princess House, a very heavy set here for Santa. Milk for Santa glass. It's really nicely embossed over here. This set doesn't appear to be used, or somebody just took amazingly good care of it. And here's the matching cookies for Santa plate. And this is smooth on this side, and it's embossed on the other side. They sell really well. I paid $1.99 for it. I'm going to ask about $30 for it and put that the right way. And that's a really good price. I see people asking more for them. As I keep saying, I'm trying to thin out my collection of milk glass and Corningware because I'm running out of space. And I like to keep a piece of everything, but I'm not starting new collections. And I found this 8-inch square baker, milk glass baker cake pan in the back of my cabinet, and I took it off, but it had the original Goodwill $2.99 sticker on it, so obviously I haven't been using it, so I thought it would be time to sell it. And then I remembered I had the matching loaf pan. I already have a matching loaf pan. I don't need to. So I decided to sell this off as a set. It's Fire King, Anchor Hocking Fire King in the candle glow pattern, really pretty pattern, kind of atomic-y, 1967 to 1972. And they're in really nice shape, maybe a tiny bit of fade on the candles someplace, but overall, beautiful condition. And I'm gonna ask, I think $22 for both pieces. For those of you wondering why I'm moving my finger over here, and you can see how translucent it is, that's to show you who do not know that this is what you do to determine if it's bone china. If you can see through it, it's bone china. These were marked $1.99 each at the Salvation Army, but green was the color of the day, 50% off, and these are green, and they are just lovely. They're made by Royal Castle out of England. They're fine bone china, as I had just shown you. And they have a gorgeous rose pattern on the front and a gorgeous rose pattern in the cup. And I'm going to show you this side too. So they're beautiful display condition, just gorgeous bone china cups. And I pick up pretty ones whenever I find them because there is a market for them out there. I couldn't really find out a lot about the company, although they do make a lot of really pretty patterns. Couldn't find this pattern anywhere. My guess is it might have had a pattern number and not a name to it. Anyway, I paid $1.99 for the set of two. I'm going to ask $18 for the set of two. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the haul, and thanks even more for putting up with my voice. It just seems to come and go, and it seems to go mostly when I'm doing videos. I don't know why. Everything you see here is going to be listed by the time the video is up. I'm going to be closing down my store for a few days. I am going to Norfolk, Virginia. It's Nora's 5th birthday in a couple days. I'm going to be gone over the weekend, and then on Wednesday we have down here in Florida our open primary, and I'm going to be working the polls, and we start at 5 in the morning. So I'll probably open up my store back up Wednesday morning, but I'll be in business until this Wednesday, which I guess is tomorrow. Thanks again for watching. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Most of all, leave me a comment, and we'll see you again real soon. Have a great day. Bye. Probably early to late 30s, maybe mid-40s. I picked this up at the community thrift haul I was talking about, last week. That's only open for a few